Hello. All right, I am here, ready to go, and I'm just giving it a couple seconds here because you guys are usually on top of this. And all right, I see people are coming on. Hi, Norma. All right, so today I am going to show you how to do something called Russian spiral. Hi, Jessica. So today's a stitch demo, and so hi, Rosemary. And if you're a lefty, this could be a little bit challenging to do because you're going around in spirals. And hi, Carol. So hi, Deborah. Let me show you the sample. So here I have a pair of earrings that I made using the Russian spiral stitch. And I think it's a really pretty stitch. You just go around, it goes around in spirals. And so here are the earrings. And then here's my sample. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do. And I did the sample in 3 colors. Hi, Kathy. And so it's the Russian spiral. I'm doing rondelles, but you can pretty much use any bead that you like. So here in this sample, I had used bicones, 4mm bicones. And fire polish is also another good bead to use because they just sit really, really well. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, yep. I usually just say beaders. I figure that kind of covers both men and women who are watching. Though I think, based on the statistics that Facebook gives me, it tells me that basically almost everyone is female, or majority are female, I should say. That's probably the proper way to say it. Anyway, so Russian spiral works with a lot of different beads, and it's actually related to tubular netting. So it kind of is very similar to tubular netting. But this one, I think, kind of is also one of those underrated stitches because it looks really, really pretty. And depending on the beads that you choose, you can really get some really nice pieces. Anyway, so to start off with, I did it in 3 colors so you guys can really follow. You don't have to do 3 colors. And if you use more colors, then it'll look, you'll get a thicker piece. So it'll be a little bit thicker than this. But typically the standard is 3, but you can change it up however you like. So what you want to do is pick up 3. Hi, Barbara. So start with your bead of choice. So in this case, start with my pink rondelle, then 2 of my 11s, then another rondelle, 2 11s, rondelle, and 2 11s. And then you're just going to go through a few of these beads just to make a circle. And so you just want them in a circle, and I would leave a good tail. So if you're starting a project, I'd leave a good sized tail. So this is too short, so you can make your clasp. Hi, Debbie. And so what you want to do is actually come out of your 11 of your seed bead here. So you don't necessarily have to use 11s. You can use 8s also. So by the way, you don't have to use, so the size of your seed bead is also up to you. It's your choice. But the way I have this set up is you want to come out of this 11 that's next to your rondelle. And then when you add beads, what you're going to do is pick up the next color that's coming up. So in this case, it's my lighter purple color here. So I'm going to pick that up. And then 2 of my 11s. And I'm going to skip over here on the piece. I'm skipping this 11, the rondelle. And hi, Kim. Yeah, you made it just in time. I just started. And you go into this next 11 over here. All right. And in the beginning, this is going to look a little loose. And kind of the way, if you've done tubular netting, it's kind of going to look very much the way tubular netting looks when you first start it. So it's not sitting quite right, but it'll come up as you continue. Now to continue, my next bead color is pink. And so I'm going to pick up the pink, then my 2 seed beads, and I'm going to skip over this seed bead here, the rondelle, and then go into this seed bead on this other side here. And this is what you get, and you want to just kind of give this a, just push these new rounds, new rows, whatever I'm going to call them, push them up a little bit. And now to do the next one is my sort of darker, more opaque purple here. And again, I'm going to pick up my 2 seed beads after that. So here's where I'm coming out of this seed bead. So skip that one, skip the rondelle, and then go into the seed bead here. So that completes the round, and now you want to step up. So to step up, you're coming out of that seed bead. You're going to go through the next rondelle and seed bead. Hello, Angelica. And so this is what you want to, so now you're set to step up. So again, you're coming out of a seed bead. So you're always just going to be coming out of seed beads. And now we start again with our light purple here, and then my 2 seed beads. And again, I get to skip over. So make sure you don't get, this is where it gets a little confusing when you start the next set of rounds. So always just keep in mind that you're skipping over the next rondelle and then going into the seed bead that's right next to it, so you don't get confused by anything else. So don't worry about these other seed beads that are over here. Because it's a spiral, some of those are just from the previous rounds and they're just sort of not quite in position yet. But as you build it up, it'll start to make more sense. And again, so continue building. So our next color is the purple. And again, I'm just going to pick up my 3 beads, skip over that one, and then go into the first one, the first seed bead next to it. Hello, Aretta May. And there you go. And again, we're going to pick up our next color. You pick up your 2 seed beads. And again, this is the one I'm skipping. And then I'm going to jump. Oh, looks like I picked up the wrong color over here. Let me, I'll just leave it for now, but I picked up the light purple here instead of the pink. But anyway, so see, this can happen. Go ahead and skip this one, go through this, and then through the rondelle and the next seed bead. So this is where you're stepping up. And since I know, so now I'm over here on this color. So again, pick up your 2, or your 3 beads rather, and you just go through that seed bead now. And see, now it's kind of starting to take shape, even though I screwed up over here and picked up the wrong color. You can always just go back and undo it. I'm not going to undo it because this is just a sample. So if I was working on it, I would go back and undo it. So I'll continue again with the color here. And then this time I will pick the correct color up. And so again, you go through the seed bead here. I'm demonstrating Russian spiral stitch, Aretta May. And so this is what you're due to step up now. Starting with different colors when you're first learning this helps, because then you know which 3, as long as you've done your right 3 colors, you'll be able to work. You won't get quite as confused, unless, you know, unless you're me. So, but here's what it looks like. And So it's starting to build up. So eventually, as you keep going, this is what it'll continue to look like. So just 3 colors. So do you guys have any questions? This one's this is a quick one. Would anyone like me to continue going a couple more rounds? Thank you, Kathy. I do think it's really pretty, and I think if you play around with beads and color choices, it can really, really look nice. You're welcome. All right, I will do a couple more rounds if you guys, definitely, not a problem. So, all right, I'm gonna move these over so they're not so far away. All right, so I got my light purple over here. Thank you, Debbie. So all my beads are the same size. So these are all 3x4, 3x5 rondelles, and I have my 11s over here. So those are all the same size. You can use different colors, but I wouldn't recommend using different size beads in this. Hello, Cheryl. You can switch over to fire polish. And you can use 2, 3, 4 millimeters, whatever you like, as long as you start with one size and that's it. So you want to start with, you know, if you're going to start with a 3 millimeter bead, then just use those 3 millimeters with a seed bead. All right, so our next color here is the right color. So this is my light purple. I'm just going to go into the seed bead, skip over all of these. Hi, Cheryl Frost from Denver. And then my next color is pink, so you do 2, pick up your pink and your 2 seed beads. And again, I'm just going to go into the seed bead that's right next to that pink. I'm skipping it over. And this is how you get that spiral and how you get the beads to sit on top of each other. And again, here's my darker purple. So I got my 3 beads. This is the color I'm skipping over, and then this is the bead I would go into, but I'm also stepping up to my next round. I do have a finished piece. Let me show you. So, and there you have it. So you can see it just spirals in these pretty stripes, and I think I must be in sort of the spring pastel mood. Anyway, you know the word I'm trying to say. Pastels. So I think I picked pastel colors. So you can do a couple different things, Kim, to finish. So here what I did was I just tied off the thread. So I finished up the round and then I tied off the thread. And I capped it with crystals. So you can do that, and I used a hat pin with the crystal. So here's the hat pin on one side. If it's a bracelet, what you can do is you come out of the seed beads. So you would come out of these seed beads here. So the one closest to each of your beads like you were as you were making your rounds, and I would just come up and go through the crystal like in here instead of adding the hat pin. So you just go up into the crystal, come back down, and then go through the next set of beads and work your way up again and down and so forth. And then you can make, as you make a loop. I don't know if that made sense, but so there's quite a few different ways. If you've ever done netting, tubular netting, that's you would finish it up in a very similar way. Is that making sense? I hope so. I'll have to show you. Well, let's see. Actually, I think I can show you on this. So I just finished this round and I stepped up. So here's what you can do to finish, to kind of close this off. Is I would pick up 2 seed beads, and then I'd use one of these beads as my cap. And then let's say you can make like a toggle clasp, or you can just make a little loop. So I'm going to pick up 8 to make a small loop that I can put a jump ring through. So you bring that down, you go through, you skip over all of these to get that loop. So there's that loop. You want to get it tight enough. And then I would take 2 beads and go into this bead over here. So this, normally if I was going and making my round, this would be the next bead in the round that I would go through. Go through that, and then continue through the rondelle and the next seed bead. And then pick up 2 of the 11s and then go back up into this rondelle. And then you would just go through the beads, and then now you can tie off. So you see you got sort of a little tripod type closure, and then you can add a jump ring, and you can do the same thing on the other side. You just want to leave enough of a tail on this side, and you can do exactly the same thing. Anyway, I hope that makes more sense than me trying to show you with me trying to just talk it out. So does anyone have any other questions? So Norma, I think it'd be, oh yeah, no problem, Kim. Norma, I think it's just practice. I think if you start with, this one's probably an easy one. Russian spirals actually might be an easy one to do, and start with 8/0s and maybe some fire polish if you've gotten practice. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Areta May. And I think you'll be able to do it. Anyway, so thank you ladies for watching. I'll see you tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Central. Have a good night.